What up? What up? Happy Sunday, Black Wealth people. Today is Sunday, as we always do, our weekly Black Wealth Project Town Hall meeting every Sunday, 7 p.m. Well, 7 p.m. is today, and I can't blame it on nobody but myself. I'm sure I'll get dragged soon enough because Mara was late, but I was doing some shopping. But listen, tonight we're talking about Jawn boards and all the other beautiful black things that's going on right now. It's only us. The fellas are running the building this week. The inmates are running the building. So
yes,
the ladies
sir.
are away. So what's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Yizzo.
What's up, good brother, man? You know, Billions comes back on tonight. You know what I mean? So
I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah, I mean, so you know that's the goal. You know what I mean? I start watching that Netflix joint that was pretty good. I didn't finish it yet, so no spoilers for the folks out there watching. It's called Clickbait.
Yeah, I heard that's actually pretty good.
Yeah. So we in that bag right now. Shout out to Adrian. You know what I'm saying, with the breakfast boards and whatnot.
No, that's the Jawn board. Shout out to Adrian. She's the GOAT.
Yeah.
She is the GOAT for that.
Hey, and Adrian, I want to tell you that shout out to our sister who's on the plane right now, but she said to tell Adrian, good looking out with the breakfast board.
And that's she wasn't feeling that breakfast board.
No, that was Courtney. Courtney wasn't, but Tracy did.
Courtney.
Courtney was hating, but Tracy said that's amazing. She was like, that's what we're gonna start with. We're gonna start with the breakfast board, aka the Jawn board.
If it ain't bougie, it ain't Courtney.
Oh, now she get usually when she ain't here, you know what I'm saying? You give a
right, and don't be snitching either.
Now you cutting that. I ain't saying nothing.
Don't be snitching.
Yo, the replay is gonna be widely available, dog. We ain't gotta say nothing.
Corey gonna tell.
Corey's not gonna say a thing. Corey
man. It will be available, man. You want to buy the cassette? Stop by Sam Goody.
Yeah, she'll figure it out by her own devices.
I was sitting there thinking, like, that line of that song, like, it's not gonna make any sense in a couple years. Like, well, even now, people are like, what the hell is Sam Goody?
Right. If you ain't old enough to have gone to a Sam Goody, that doesn't make any sense
at all.
Not at all. Not at all.
Yo, how many of y'all watching been to Sam Goody before? Who remembers Sam Goody?
I was an avid Sam Goody visitor.
Or was you? I didn't really bang with. I was a Sound of Germantown dude, but that, you know.
So I would go to Sound of Germantown. Was it Sound of Market?
Yeah,
Sound of Market. Sound of Market was my spot. Sam Goody.
Another one though on 11th Street. I can't think of the name of it.
Yeah, my uncle was a DJ, so we went to all them spots to try to find records when we was trying to get the newest and hottest thing.
They called that one Sound of Market too, the one that was on 11th Street, right across from.
It was one on Market Street, and one on
11th Street. 11th Street. It was right. It was right across from where the family court was at 34 South 11th.
Yeah. Oh, you know the name. You know the address by heart, huh, Jimmy?
I used to work in that building.
Oh, okay. I was about to say you ain't got no court cases we don't know about, right?
No.
You ain't got no open child support, right?
No, sir. All
right.
Mark tried to put a case on me.
Yeah, they try to put a case on me, man.
I'm just asking, brother. I'm just asking.
He tried to put a case on Jim.
Let's talk to the people real quick. Let's wrap. Adrian. I'm trying to get that picture up that Adrian sent us. It's pure beautiful.
Hey man, Adrian, I want you to know I sent it right to the family, man. I was like, look what Adrian blessed me with this beauty.
Jose, what up, partner? Can't be. All right, so let me see if I can get this thing in here. So y'all can already tell, right? There's going to be a whole bunch of foolishness, chicanery, and tomfoolery going on.
We don't have our conscience here. The ladies are our conscience.
Not at all.
They're our conscience. Well, at least my conscience, because I'll be trying to, not to.
Hey, Kamari, can we show our names real quick? I got my new alias I'm going by. I want to, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I got a new alias too. I got a new alias too.
All right, let me put this on.
I need to get one of those things. How do you get an alias? Like, I need to buy some.
I mean, I grew up on Wu-Tang, so therefore I'm always coming up with aliases. I mean,
right?
Yeah, I mean it's part of
Dirt and all of they all
yeah,
had aliens.
big baby Jesus, like you know what I mean? Like
They all had
you can't have one name. That's kind of boring, man. You know what I mean?
Tony Starks, Johnny
Yeah.
Blaze,
Ghostface, you know what I'm saying? Raekwon the Chef, Master Killer. You gotta have multiple names, man. That's how we giving it up out here.
MET.
Jose, what's up? What's up, Jose?
Don, what's going on, family?
All right, so Jose's in the building, Don's in the building, Karan's here,
Karan, what's up? What's good?
Queen Monica's here.
Hey.
She said there's a honey grow now. Talisha,
how you doing?
Yeah, it definitely is. The Sound of Market is now a honey grow. That's called gentrification right there.
No, you can't really call that one gentrification.
Ooh.
Yes, you can. If you go down that strip now, compared to what that strip used to be. I remember what that strip was.
It used to be a bunch of pawn shops, city blue, and all kinds of stuff.
I can't even.
All of that stuff was for black
that
people.
strip now got like a mama's market. They got a whole it's a different strip right now.
None of that stuff is geared
but
toward
SEPTA was right there, so and then
SEPTA's a little further up, and if you go down 11th Street,
at 1234.
Yeah, SEPTA's at 1234, so it's another block up. But on that 11th Street strip right there, even at the corner of 10th, I mean, no, when you get, I'm sorry, not 10th, at 11th and Chestnut, they knocked that whole corner down. It's getting ready to be some more Jenny, as I call it. Jennifer's about to make her way down that street too.
Jenny from the block.
Yeah.
They about to turn that into
something. Man, we should have an alias competition. That'd be fire.
Hey man, I like my alias tonight, man.
Hey, I come on one every week though. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do. Cause
all right, so explain, Corey. Corey Hans Yolo. Okay.
Hans Yolo.
And certified Bitcoin boy, is that's what it is? CBB?
Yes, I'm CBB, man.
Oh man,
you're not showing the names though, man. I mean,
I thought I did.
You could see him.
Oh, hold on. I thought I did. My bad.
Y'all, he hating on us, yo.
No, I turned it on.
All graffiti names. I ain't put my graffiti name out there. I ain't trying to get caught up.
I'm definitely.
I definitely was. I tagged up all crazy. Like I ain't gonna hold you.
All right, so certified Bitcoin boy. I love that joint. That's an homage to the Sixth God, Drizzy Drake. Yeah, who just dropped his new album and all his pettiness.
That album is underneath mid.
Corey,
Corey, I got you. I saw your post, brother. I'm coming to you. We're gonna have to talk about that. And actually, I agree with you, but we gotta talk about it. But did y'all see Drake leaked Kanye's diss track?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
that was petty.
Yeah, that was foul and petty, but I mean that's what they doing to each other right now.
I mean, but listen, Ye leaked the boy address. I mean, so I don't know if you can get.
So my thing is, how did he get his hands on it?
They live down the street from each other.
No, I'm not talking about the Addy. I'm talking about the damn song.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody that is.
Nah, but somebody said that.
Listen, man, people send me stuff about other people all the time online. Like,
but no, they said Universal since they both signed a Universal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Listen, people send me stuff about other people online all the time. I just laugh at it. That's how I know most of your influencers are broke. But I just laugh at it.
Say it again, Jimmy. Most of the influencers.
I just said most of y'all influencers are broke. They live in that credit card debt up to their ears. But listen, that's their business though.
When you don't know the difference between the average and a median, and you try to spin it like it's some kind of conspiracy theory, you know what can you expect?
Kamari, listen, I speak in generalities. Kamari be clapping at folks, man. You got a little bit of Drake. Drake in you too, man. Pause, because you're subliminals, man. Like I catch them. I don't know if everybody else do, but I do.
There's nothing because it's nothing subliminal about them.
Nothing subliminal about
right. Them Jones right on the surface.
And I mean, I'll say this right. Going to hip hop, Kanye and Drake both have ghostwriters. I do feel Drake probably writes more than Kanye does. However, when Drake puts it out there, he might not say your name, but it's very clear. It's very clear. When he gonna put your face on a Gildan, it's very clear. There's no mixing words around that.
Said he gonna put your face on Gildan though. Why you gotta put it on a t-shirt though?
That's a lyric.
I understand that though, like, but
Listen, all the RIP shirts.
yeah, man. Still,
And he gave
like,
me the
I
cheap
ain't gonna
joint
lie,
too.
man. The diss tracks on the joint is the only ones I like on there. It's like 3 diss tracks on there. Those are the ones I like. Everything else was absolute garbito.
Not to me, dog. He clapped Swiss up real crazy too. He did Swiss dirty.
He did.
Yeah.
But that's part of the diss tracks I was talking about.
Yeah. All right, give me 1 second, folks. Listen, we're going to talk about a couple things. I do want to talk about the disparity in black mortgages. I know the fellas got a couple things. What y'all got on the table, y'all?
Hey man, I'm talking about whatever. You know, I just love to talk. I love to talk with our people.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
We out here. I think I got Jim beat, man. Hans YOLO, man. I'll be out here doing the mostest. The mostest.
So if anybody has anything we want covered or commentary and color on, go ahead and throw it in the chat. I'm trying to get this picture up though.
Man,
This joint is fire. This joint is fire. Give me 1
Jawn
second.
board.
This is the Jawn board.
You need me to send it to you in another format, man? Because you know I got it.
I got it, but that might actually help me better.
Where you want me to send it to you at, yo?
Can you do a screen share?
Oh, I mean, pull it up right here. I could do that. Hold up. I thought you want me like
turn a
send it
turn
to
the
one
audio down.
send it to one of your inboxes, but I'll pull it up right here. That's all good. I was going to send it to Kamari, your Kamari Tax OnlyFans account.
Oh, I need one of those. That's a great idea. Listen, they just made them able to be monetized by everybody. So maybe I can do a little tax striptease or something.
What?
If,
OnlyFans?
for those who like the fat boy fluff.
Yo, Kamari's out of pocket right now, man.
Yeah, I don't know what Kamari talking about.
I mean, he just said I got an OnlyFans account. That ain't hard to tell.
Yeah,
I mean, technically there are people that actually have
that I attract clientele. Oh, my fault.
I might check his life or death, breathing the sniper's breath. I feel the yellow smoke of Buddha through righteous steps, deep like the shining, sparkle like a diamond. All right, my fault.
I mean,
I got it.
Part. I mean, we can't get a spark the Uzi jacket lining.
Yeah, sneaky Uzi in the island in my army jacket lining. You know what I mean? That's
right.
I could go with I could rap Illmatic like it's the Bible, you know. To be honest with you, but here we go. Here we go.
You got it. You got me.
Yes,
amazing.
My man.
Yo.
All right, listen, y'all. When y'all see this is a pure work of art right here.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
look at that.
Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to do that.
Oh, what you doing?
I'm sorry. I was trying to go back and see what the people were saying, but no, that's it right there. So
we got the fried fish. I'm sure that's some
Chapel, right?
Jawn board,
and you got this.
I'm sure that's some beef sausage.
So I'm looking at grits. I'm looking at shrimp and grits.
Is that shrimp?
That looks like shrimp and grits.
Yes, sir.
That's fish. Then you got your bacon, and you got your sausage.
And I'm sure ain't none of it pork. I'm sure it's all turkey and beef.
That's right.
And then you got some dipping sauces in here. I think there's
Hey man, don't forget about the grapes and the strawberries. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see the grapes and the strawberries over there, and then I see the cheese eggs, man. Cheese eggs, and ain't no Welch's grape though.
Oh,
we got fish though, ha!
Oh,
yeah, show up as catfish.
Can't have cheese eggs without Welch's grape.
I mean, can we officially say fuck your charcuterie board?
Yeah, no, this is greater than the charcuterie board.
Listen, I would eat this way before the charcuterie board.
Adrian, I just want to say thank you.
I don't want no smoke with the ladies because you know when they rewatch this, the smoke is definitely coming. They coming with the whole smoke show.
Now, Talisha taught us how to say it properly because it's a French word, but I can't roll it like that. It's like charcuterie board, and I'm just like, whoa.
Yeah,
I mean that's next level sophistication right
there. Charcuterie board, but I tell you, this is greater than that. Like this is a work of art. Like you got like this is something like Romare Bearden would have done. Like this is art. You know,
Yeah, that was definitely artistic.
Wait a minute. Adrian said she don't see catfish. That's fish right there in the middle.
No, Adrian, that was a
this
joke.
catfish did that means that's sausage pork.
No, that was a joke, Adrian. That was a line from House Party, from Bernie Mac. But that's either here nor there.
Yeah.
I like my pop culture references.
Yeah, I think that's catfish right there. Maybe a little flounder, but I think that's catfish right there.
I'm thinking flounder, but it is
maybe.
Whatever it is.
It looks delicious.
Either way, it's art. I just want to give you a shout out, Adrian. That's art right there. So who cares? Who needs a charcuterie board when you got that?
Well, we got a Jawn board. Fuck a charcuterie board. We got a Jawn board. That's fire right there. That's fire. All right, so any topics is basically open forum tonight. There's a couple of things I saw I wanted to talk about.
Whoa, Jose put a doozy in the chat. I don't want to get Corey. I don't want to get Corey on his. Corey might get out here and start preaching. But Jose put something on in the comments.
Oh.
He's talking about a book.
All right, let's.
That's gonna set Corey off, Jose. So I'm just gonna chill.
All right, let's look at it. Let's look at it. Where we at?
Homeboy is on my wavelength.
All right, so check out a book by a good brother, Willie O. Cartwright, EMBA, titled "Saved to Sane: My Journey Away from Christianity and Why Christianity Has Been Detrimental to the African Community."
I'm going to be reading that tonight.
You what?
I'll be reading that tonight. I'm going to get my hands on that, or I'll be ordering it tonight, and I'll be reading it very soon. That's right.
I thought Jimmy said you wasn't going to like it.
No. I'm saying it's going to set him off because that's Corey's been telling me that for years.
I've been saying this for years. Like, to be honest, I think Christianity in the form that has been given to our people has been the most detrimental thing that's happened to Black people. Period.
Me and Corey once had a conversation where he was explaining to me why Christianity has been worse for the community than crack. And Instagram's
if you look at the total destruction of what's happening to our communities, I would put Christianity near the top of the things that's helped destroy our communities. But that's just me.
What about Islam?
Same. All of those, those religious things. Yeah, all of them. Nobody gets a pass.
Shout out to all the Christian connects out there.
Nobody gets a pass.
I ain't trying to offend nobody, but the fact of the facts. And we could always run down the line. But
everybody can get it though.
I will say this though, right? When you go back to its essence, not this bastardized form of Christianity, but when you go back to its essence, Christianity can be traced back to African lineage, but it's been so jacked up and changed. I don't know if anybody does.
That's why I gave it the air finger.
I know.
It's like capitalism, huh?
Yep.
No, I think people
bastardized. It's all been bastardized.
Yeah, but what we have now isn't capitalism, but they call it capitalism, and that's totally untrue.
Exactly.
Now, listen, we can say the same thing about. We can say the same thing about Christianity, right? Because a lot of these folks are not actually acting like Black Jesus, and I say Black intentionally. Black Jesus would actually want you to act. So we can kind of go down that same route, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man, I keep my religious views to myself because it don't help in creating bonds with people when you tell them, things, politics and religion and all those type of things, those is disconnectors when you trying to connect. But don't ask me no questions you don't really want the answers to.
Now, what do y'all think about those statements we just made? I mean, I'm curious to see what the audience has to say. And we're talking purely from an historic standpoint. Not how you feel, not how you believe, right? And that's not to be dismissive or to invalidate any of those things, but we're just talking pure history, pure facts.
Yeah, I just realized I just got a couple messages that said that Facebook and YouTube is hating on my Bitcoin logo. So it's funny because y'all can see the. Can y'all see the actual
I
logo?
can see the logo.
Yeah, on Facebook and YouTube, it looks like a box, so it looks crazy. So
No, I can't see the logo right now.
interesting.
And where are you talking about? In this here?
Yeah, right there where my name is, where it says
So all I
certified.
see the actual Bitcoin logo.
Yeah, it's like certified, and it has the logo, and then it says,
No, I don't see it. I just see certified Bitcoin boy.
No, that's what I'm saying. But the B in Bitcoin, you see that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. But on YouTube and Facebook, it doesn't look like it, but it looks like a box. So they hate it. Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's the logo. Who knows? But they hating nonetheless.
Listen,
but
algorithms.
That's why I put that out there. If anybody watching, like, it actually is the Bitcoin logo, but that's either here nor there.
Right. All right. So listen, y'all. Since we already see the algorithms are hating, do us a favor, like, comment, and share. That lets the algorithms know that people actually appreciate what we're doing. So go ahead and throw that on out there for us. Now, I wanted to talk about this. I don't know if anybody follows the Blackwell Project Instagram page. I don't know why it took me so hard to find that.
Mm-hmm.
But I put a couple articles up, or at least a couple clippings from some articles up, and I found some really interesting things. And oh man, all the geez.
They hit you with the you got to subscribe
advertisements, yeah. But all the it seems like there's a bunch of shenanigans going on in the mortgage industry, and I shared a couple of those. But it's not just happening in one particular area. It's happening in places like Charleston, South Carolina, North Carolina, Denver, Detroit. There's several places where Black folks are getting denied mortgages.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's allegedly tied to AI, the algorithms that are being used in the mortgage industry. And I would have loved to have had either Shad or Elizabeth get on with us and talk about that. But I find that really interesting because, and mind you, these are not people that have bad credit. They looked at it from people of the same ilk, Black, white, yellow, and they all, had good credit, good earnings, were able to qualify for a mortgage. But Black folks were disproportionately being denied mortgages. I find that very, very troubling. But hold on, I wanted to bring up this article and just go over it. I'm not going to read it to y'all and bore y'all to death. All right, so here we go. Finally got rid of the toll takers. Give me 1 second. Oh man, they got they got ads all over the place.
You can just pull up the IG post you put up. Like, what I'm saying? Like, pull that up.
That would have been smart.
I mean, that's what I'm here for, bro. That's what I'm here for.
What you trying to say about him, Jim?
No, I ain't trying to say nothing. I was trying to help my brother out. That's all.
Well, I said that, Corey. I said that. I was ragging on myself.
I'm about to say, like,
no, that was me.
I
mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Jim said it.
No, come on, man. I was trying to help my brother out. That's all.
No, but you were right, though. But listen, this title says Home Hunting While Black. Y'all know right there it's ready to get on and popping. How racism sabotages the American dream. And so this article just goes into just a little bit of it, right? Black and white Americans seeking mortgages have vastly different experiences. And so we see the old school folks here. Now it says a recent report from the Markup co-published with the Associated Press reveals what many Americans already know. Race plays a significant factor in the home lending industry. Really? I don't think anybody got a clue. That's sarcasm. Based on information gathered in 2019, the new report reveals that Latinos, Asians, Pacific Islanders, Native Americans, and Black applicants experienced discrimination during the mortgage approval process. No shit. But applicants encountered the most. According to the report, Black people were 80%, again, 80%, more likely to be denied a mortgage loan than a white applicant with a similar profile. I want to read that again. According to the report, Black people were 80% more likely to be denied a mortgage loan than a white applicant with a similar profile. In some places, the patterns of exclusion is even more startling. Black applicants in Chicago, for example, were 150% more likely to be denied than white counterparts with the same credit score, same debt as a percentage of
And
income,
this is algos. This ain't even humans.
and looking to borrow the same percentage of a property's value. But Corey, to your point, right? The algos are programmed by humans, and every time
I
it seems
always
like
said you only get the information out that you put in, right?
Right.
And that's with anything, right? And so I always knew that algos, like I always say, for us, for black people, we need black people creating algos, right? That's why we need black people in STEM in all of these places, right? Because all the algos are created by somebody, right? And so the information you get out of those algos is the information that goes in. And so whatever biases that person has that created that algo, those biases going to show when you get the information back out. So it's the same thing when you get those police statistics and all of those things are biased toward the person who created the algo, right? Now the numbers might not lie, but the story those numbers tell might lie, right? So the algo might get the numbers right, but the story that those numbers tell, the algo might get that completely wrong because of the biases that are inherent in the person who created the algo.
Now,
So,
Jimmy, you're the statisticians here. Can you give us the statistical word Corey just dropped on us?
No, there's an entire Netflix documentary that talks about this.
Wait, don't skip over it. There's a word.
I didn't hear what you're talking about. What you talking about? The average you're talking about?
No, I was going to say skewed.
Oh, I didn't hear. Okay, I didn't know which one you were speaking of.
Yeah.
You said average a couple times too, but anyway, but no, there's a whole Netflix documentary. What's it called? I just said it. It's called Coded, something Coded. Whatever it may be. There's a whole Netflix documentary about this.
Talking about how skewed algos are.
Yeah. So that's part of it, and also one of the things that if you read through the article, sometimes even though it's AI, there's still somebody at the end of that AI. And first of all, another thing is a lot of this stuff really isn't AI. They use AI as a buzzword. So a lot of things they're calling AI aren't really AI, right? There's a difference between using an algorithm and something being artificially intelligent. So they like to use the buzzword AI. So a lot of this really isn't AI because if it's AI, is able to think for itself, not just process data. So with that being said, just keep that in mind as you read these articles. But a lot of times there's somebody on the end who's making a decision based upon the numbers that were crunched by the algorithm. But when you have inherent bias in the algorithm, and then you have that coming on the other side, and a lot of this goes back to the Honorable Isabel Wilkerson, which she talks about in the book, in terms of caste. When you're in a certain caste, there's certain elements that will go into an algo because you're in that caste, and the cycle just rinses and repeats, which is why that book was so powerful.
And so I did what Jimmy suggested, right? I put up the post. So AI bias caused 80% of black mortgage applicants to be denied, right? We just learned that in the article we went over, right? Black mortgage applicants in Charleston denied twice as often as white.
All right. It is called coded. It's called coded bias. That's the name of the doc. Coded bias.
Black borrowers twice as likely to be denied mortgages as whites in Metro Detroit. So we go from the South down to the Midwest, right? New data shows blacks and Latinos in Denver, and again, a lot of this is parsed from the same report, but it just shows how rampant it is, and it's just really sad that it's 2021 with all this technology that we have. They still fucking up. I mean, I don't have any other way to say it.
But technology is every one of these programs is created by somebody.
No,
so
that's a fact.
This is why I say it is absolutely imperative in this day and age where technology gives you an advantage or takes away such an advantage that we have people that have algos that skew toward us, right? Because if we don't, we're gonna get crushed. Like if you think it was bad with people doing it, algos is even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think even more than that, though, as we talk about this, it's more about resources because who cares what the algo says if you're not the one holding the purse strings, right? Because the algo can say what it's going to say, and if we don't control those resources, it doesn't matter. right? Anytime we go to borrow, we're borrowing from somebody in a different caste. We're not borrowing from ourselves. So that's the problem right there.
Right.
So, Jim, I agree, but I'm going to just expand this a little bit. Give me a little wiggle room. There's been documented proof also with AI's use of facial recognition. There's a bias against Black folks, too.
Oh, for sure.
So this isn't, I mean, we're talking about mortgages right now, but I'm just looking at AI across the board, or as you correctly titled, buzzword AI, and how it actually poses a threat to Black people financially, physically, environmentally, in so many fashions. In so many
No,
fashions.
yeah, but what I'm saying is the AI, who's deploying the AI? That's the issue I'm talking about. Well, excuse me, machine learning, because most of the time it's machine learning, is not AI, but it's about who's deploying it.
All right, you brought it up. Give us the definition of AI versus machine learning.
Well, no, in simple terms, right? In simple terms, artificial intelligence, right? It learns and is able to make decisions based upon the information it learned. So it's almost like a great analogy would be like, you know, to if I give a dog a treat, say I give a dog a treat every time he does something, and he knows they respect that treat, right? That's one thing. But if the dog is able to think for himself and then go make the move without that treat, that's the difference between AI and machine learning, right? If I set a machine up that if I do this, you do that. If I do this, you do that. If I do this, you do that. Versus the machine being able to think for itself. It's kind of like when you get into those sci-fi flicks. The reason we get afraid of the term AI is because when things start to become artificially intelligent and are able to think for themselves,
sentient. They become sentient.
What's the word? What's the word I'm looking for?
Sentient. I mean, they
Vicky,
read about the
remember Vicky?
singularity event, but that's something totally.
Remember Vicky from iRobot? Vicky was
Yeah,
artificially intelligent. Vicky was putting them plays together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
if the machine can run the play on its own, once you program it, then it's AI. Everything else is machine learning. But yeah, listen, man. The thing that's hard about that, right, is the thing that's brought us closer together and given us more freedom is the technology. But the thing that will crush us is technology if we don't have any control over how that technology is deployed.
No, I'm not. Yeah, you guys are right. You guys are absolutely right. I mean, this goes to what I say on here every week. We need to be in all rooms, doing all things. I don't care whether we're talking about technology, whether we're talking about food, whether we're talking about politics, whether we're talking about education. We need representation everywhere because we're being attacked on so many fronts. So yeah, I was just pointing out that it's a little bit different, but we also have to be the ones in control of those institutions. Because if we're not in control of the institutions, regardless of what the AI says, we need to be the ones deploying the actual AI, not just responding to whatever the AI or the machine learning. We need to be the ones in control of that.
No, I got that, Jim. But let me ask you this, right? How do we change that, right? What will be the solution? We know there's, again, rampant systemic racism in banking and mortgages. How do we combat that?
Buy Bitcoin. I'm saying that partially to troll you, but no, honestly, that is one of the solutions. Other solutions are, to Corey's point, to make sure that the next generation coming up understands systems more so than anything else. We need to work on systems, and that's kind of where our answers are.
Yep.
But you can also buy Bitcoin too.
To see and going back to the which brings us in full circle, right? Because leaders, right? Churches produce leaders, right? The religion is the system, and the system produces leaders, right? What we need to produce is systems, and let those systems produce leaders, and like Jim said, have it on a cellular level where it's not all centralized into one place. You know what I mean? Like, and so that's what we need to do. We need to produce systems, right? Because we do a good job of producing leaders, but then when we produce leaders, the thing that the system does is the system kills the leaders, right? Every time we produce a leader, the system literally kills them. Like, they don't even play around with it. They literally take that piece off the board. So if we create systems, it's hard to take a system off the board. You can take a piece off the board, but if you create a system, you can't take a system off the board.
And that's why I jokingly said about Bitcoin. I know I like to mess with Kamari and talk about Bitcoin. But the thing about Bitcoin,
It's
right?
systemized.
Not even just that, right? When you study Bitcoin, the great part about going down the rabbit hole of what is Bitcoin is to understand Bitcoin, you have to study economics, you have to study history, you have to study philosophy, so you have to study politics. There's a lot of things that come with that. And the power in quote unquote Bitcoin is deeper than just cryptocurrency. Forget cryptocurrency. The whole notion of being decentralized. To Corey's point, anytime we have anything, it's always centralized. So it's easy to just knock that off and then to keep it moving, right? But when you build things that are decentralized, it becomes impossible, right? So when you build these systems and systems that are decentralized, it's impossible to stop because you knock off one thing and it keeps moving over here. The head keeps moving. You know, I used a bad analogy before on the show, so I won't repeat that. But it's the same concept of being decentralized.
It wasn't.
So that's what I mean
analogy.
when I say that.
No, it was a great analogy.
It wasn't a bad analogy. It was politically incorrect.
No, it was politically get you. It'll get you seen by the alphabet boys.
Listen, we're gonna be running around here with t-shirts on saying "Free Gem." And we don't want
no smoke.
I don't want that smoke. I don't want that smoke. But it was just a thought. Like the decentralization is important to understand as we move forward.
And everything.
Yeah.
All right. Just one more other piece I would like to go over real quick, and then you guys have the floor. Another article that I found, and I thought it was interesting. And everybody in the audience, what do y'all think? What are some of the solutions? What do you feel are some of the solutions to the things that we are talking about?
We got a couple in the chat.
Okay, I'll get to them. So, wealth manager Humble LeKang's mission: generational freedom for Black athletes. And so he said some things here that I thought were interesting. I'm here for these Black people. Humble says, I feel like this whole world is set up for the white families to win, and they have all the access to resources that they need in the lifetime. I'm here to fight for the oppressed, and I'm here to fight for my people. Amen. All right, so there was a couple of things here. There was one thing that he said that jumped out at me. Basically, I'll kind of paraphrase. I was trying to find it. But what he said was, Black athletes have kind of been kept in the shadows of financial literacy for the most part of their
purpose.
On
purpose.
Oh, bro, yes. Yeah. And so that's what he was saying. And so he wants to crusade so Black athletes get more education to basically leverage their money and multiply their money so they can do more things. But I do find it interesting, right, that athletes are always like the buzzword. And I understand racing and sports is forever intertwined, but I just always wonder why do we focus so much on athletes and entertainment? And I mean, I know why, but
because they're high profile, right? Because they're visible. You focus on things that you can see. They're literally because they're visible, right? You focus on, like, the government is good at sleight of hand, and the thing that they do is they'll put something in front of you, super visible, and then they'll either like torture that thing in front of you, or they'll hold it up as like a shiny object in front of you, like everybody should be like this. Or they'll say, look what happened to so-and-so because they did XYZ. So either they'll torture that thing that's in front of you, or they'll hold it up as a shiny object of what everybody could and should do. Right. So it's really about visibility.
You have any thoughts on it, Jim?
Man, listen, man. Malik El Shabazz said that entertainers and athletes are puppets that are always put in front of you. No other community has entertainers or athletes they try to put in the forefront as leaders.
Yep.
They aren't thinkers. They don't get paid to think. So why are we the only community that likes to put them in the forefront and put them on a pedestal?
Yep.
Those are, I mean, that's what
the words of the elder. I mean, of the ancestor.
That's what he said, right? And when he said that, he was actually naming names too. He took a shot at Dick Gregory. He was taking a shot. He took a shot at everybody. But his point was nobody else does that, and it's kind of a joke in his opinion that we do that, and I think that's part of it. That's still part of it to this day. To Corey's point, it is high profile. It does grab attention, but I mean, it's problematic. It's very problematic. Because to be an athlete or entertainer at that highest level, you have to focus most of your time on doing that thing.
Right.
So you don't even really understand what's going on to the masses because, for one, you're kind of living in a bubble, and it's not to say you don't play a role, but it's to say that you're kind of like living in a bubble, so you can't really relate or understand what's going on the front lines, and that's no shade. That's just a fact. So we need people that have boots on the ground to kind of have the understanding, but they do play a role because, again, it's not just one thing we need to be doing because of all the different fights that we have. But to put them in the forefront, it's problematic for what we do, but it's constantly done.
But I guess as it relates to that story, right, to keep it in context with that, and there's nothing wrong with the story. And I know journalists are always looking for a new story, a new angle. But I just feel like there's so many other stories out there that aren't being told, that are phenomenal stories, and they often are overlooked. So that was just kind of my thought.
Like you might get to those stories, but you got to tell the stories that people want to hear, so that people know your name and know where to look for those stories. Right? It's like with anything. It's like marketing, right? You can have the greatest product in the world if nobody knows where it's at. How do you know to go read that writer if they don't have a story that you want to read?
Yeah, but I mean, I just pulled the article from the Washington Post. That's one of the
Washington Post is a big
right.
spot.
And that's what I'm saying. That's still going to get publication across the country, if not the world.
But the reason it may have gotten to the Washington Post because of the kind of story it was.
That's true. I'll take that. All right, Rochelle, I didn't know you was from the D. All right, Talisha says antiquated SOPs, standard operating procedures that are digitized yield the same old.
Yes, indeed.
All right, Jose says those algos are also being used in determining paroles. I didn't know that. It was found that the algos found a low-level nonviolent black inmates were more likely to commit another crime after release and so denied their paroles. Wow. While it was paroling 6 F inmates while arm-length rap sheets with violent disparities. That's kind of like the Minority Report when haywire.
Yep.
Jeez.
That's happening in real life.
All right. Okay. This is the documentary Jimmy was talking about, I believe, right?
Yeah. Coded by, yeah.
Jim, can you bring that up so we can share it?
Sure.
Monica says, so it goes back to what we keep saying. If the people in the room or at the table, etc., don't look like us or have us in mind, then we're screwed.
Pretty much.
And even if we are at the table, sometimes we're still screwed because
we don't control the purse strings. Well. We don't ever control the purse strings. We always got to beg.
Hey, Ms. Vivian, how you doing? Welcome. Jose says, yeah, the black lady who did a whole project on this dope documentary. What is that the algo one?
Yeah, it might have been. It's a couple of them out there.
Well, I want to know about the black lady. Jose, which one exactly are you talking about? All right, Camby says, I think I read about that in Malcolm Gladwell's Talking to Strangers.
Malcolm Gladwell.
I haven't read
I haven't read that particular book, but yeah. I don't Malcolm Gladwell is definitely one of the people who would be talking about that. AI versus machine learning. Yep.
All right, Adrian says, Jose, it was really good. And on the other hand, I was like, damn, y'all setting up AI, the AI to be discriminatory too.
Yep.
Talisha says, all emerging technologies, Internet of Things, AI, blockchain, need to have diverse development to challenge the default coding and testing.
Yep.
All right. Cammy says a possible solution might be for more of us to support and borrow from our own black-owned banks. In addition, I think we need to change the narrative of pushing kids out of the house after high school and allow them to remain at home until they save up down payment for a house or more financially stable. I actually wrote about that in a piece I did many, many years ago.
Yeah, so there's some issues with that, right? Because in a lot of these families, right, the parent can't wait to get the kid out of the house because of the financial burdens of having children, right? And so these parents aren't financially in the right place, and so they're like, all right, it's not my responsibility no more. Even though as your child, it's always your responsibility in my eyes. But they'll say, look, you're 18. Legally, it's not my responsibility anymore, and so I'm going to relieve myself legally of that responsibility. And so, that's something else we gotta, as a you know, as a community, we gotta look at that. We gotta look at that hard because that's part of why the Black Wealth Project is so important, right? Because you gotta love each other enough to understand that when you put these kids out in the wilderness, if they come back with the wolf in hand, you're no longer their elder. They're coming back to become the king. You know what I mean? If they come out, if you put them out and they thrive, they're not coming back to give knowledge. They're coming back to take over. It's like that's why if you look at Black Panther, that's why that part was realistic. They not coming back to be friendly. They coming back to take over.
They coming back, hi auntie.
Yup. Hi, auntie. They coming back like that. Like they ain't coming back for no for no peaceful talking. They coming back to implement what they think is the right thing to do because they went out there and learned it and took it. And that's if they come back at all. Some kids will get out there and thrive. They never come back. They're like, you ain't want me. Why would I come back and bring what I know and bring the resources to somewhere that didn't want me?
Well, we need to do. Monica brought this up. We probably should do a whole show on our community and its elders.
Oh man,
and how our relationship with our elders in our community.
Man, oh man.
Well, Eric, this is where when I point out this brought this up, I wanted to read something off. This is a piece I did many, many years ago called "The Guide to Black Wealth," and there's a part in there about intergenerational living. And to Corey's point, though, he's 1,000% right. This is all theory, what I'm talking about here. I think it's the last point on here.
Who'd you do that piece for? That was on your site?
It's on Medium. I put it out on Medium.
Okay.
I have enough information to make it a book. I just haven't done it yet.
Oh, you was in your bag on this. Sheesh.
Right. So again, this is theory. I mean, what Corey brought up though is the actual application of this, and a lot of times we're not quite there yet. However, when you look at just overall a person's budget, where their money goes, oftentimes 30 to sometimes 50% of their monthly income goes to rent or mortgage or tax payments, something about housing. And so if you can do that together, that's a lot of power in the hands of folks. But again, like Corey said, we gotta revisit that. So I say there, when it comes to having several family members living in a single household, Latinos and Asians are the butt of the joke, and reality the joke's on us, since housing costs typically account for approximately 1/3 of an individual's income. Imagine your housing costs divided by 3 or 4 adults. It's a substantial reduction in costs and potential savings of future savings in investing, or potential source of future savings in investing. So again, I don't want to read the whole thing, but just brought me to think about that. There's power to that. And we don't have to live on top of each other. I know the first thing people think, man, we get a crib, we got to all live on top of each other. But there's a lot of different ways to do it, whether you're looking at a duplex, looking at a quadplex, apartment buildings, bigger homes. There's multiple ways to do it if you're creative. but our culture doesn't lend to it, sadly. Now Jimmy shared that link.
Yes, sir.
I just have to find it now. All right, Coded Bias official trailer. All right, so let's check this out real quick, y'all. Let's check this out real quick. Shoot, I might check this out tonight now.
Oh yeah, it's on Netflix.
But then I got to think about Billions, so I don't know if I can do both.
Sound is trash.
Yeah, you gotta cut that up, bro.
Wait, what?
The sound.
Pause it and start it over. Did you share the sound when you shared the
I
video?
might not have. Hold on.
Yeah, I don't think you did.
All right, my apologies, family. Give me 1 second. We will start over again. Share screen, share sound. All right, there we go. Let's hit it again. Everybody in the comments, let me know if y'all can hear it, just to make sure we all on point.
I am an algorithm. I am listening. I am making predictions for your life right now.
I tested facial analysis systems. What does it mean to be in a society where artificial intelligence is governing liberties? We're at a moment where technology is highly susceptible to bias and there are no safeguards.
Well, that hit it on the head. That definitely hit it on the head.
You did a TED talk about this too.
Oh, really? All right, I definitely got to check her out.
Or somebody did a TED. It might not have been her, but somebody did a TED talk about this. Because I remember watching the TED talk, which is why I was looking at, like, I didn't see the Netflix joint, but I'm like, I know I got all this information from somewhere, and it started with a TED talk, and then I went to the Google Scholar and to regular Google to figure out, you know, some of the stuff they was talking about. But you can take that screen off me too. Come on.
Hey, man, gotta put the spotlight on you, brother. All right, so Vivian says American ideology is based on white supremacy. Those who promote the status quo are white, lawless laws, etc. Those who maintain it are white, some blacks and others. Example, blacks go into politics and do nothing for their people. And some entertainers and sports. Okay.
So,
all right, heard it.
I've come to stop blaming those people because they're part of the overall system. And so, unless they're in there to actually change the actual system, like if they actually do their job, it's going to look like bias toward the, you know, to the bigger population, because that's what their job entails. So I've come to stop even expecting anything from there.
Our agent says, even though we know that the solution is for us to be involved in STEM, some companies make it difficult for us to exist within that world. I'm a member of a private Facebook group for Black women in tech, and those women are brilliant, supportive, and very educated. One of the main topics that pops up over and over again is dealing with microaggressions by insecure 6Fs. I hope everybody knows what 6F is by now. Y'all should. Along with the per usual racism. None of them are quitting the industry because they truly love it and know they need to knock, supremacy out. Okay, yeah, I didn't get that last word. Blessings to you too, Ms. Vivian. I mean, I get it. Corey says it all the time. The most hated woman in America is the Black woman, or the most hated person.
Yeah, most hated person. But yeah. So to Talisha, shout out to her. She put the TED Talk in the comments. The same lady who did the TED Talk is the one that created Doc.
Okay,
oh, sweet.
So that's her fight. Like that's her thing. Her thing is to use as many platforms as possible to get this information out. But the doc was pretty interesting.
Okay. Yeah. What's her name? Can anybody pull up her name? I would love to at least shout out her name.
Oh, the young lady who's doing all the research.
Yeah.
I'll get it for you because I can pull the
bias coded. Is that the name of it?
Oh, coded bias.
Coded bias.
Yeah, it's called Coded Bias. Her name is looking for the problem now. Joy. I want to pronounce her last name incorrect. Buolamwini. I'll put it in the chat so you can see.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the Netflix now. Hopefully that.
I don't want to butcher her name. I just put it in the private chat.
All right, Jose's coming with some fire. I don't get mad at gatekeepers because, like Han Yolo, dope name by the way, said that's their job. I wouldn't expect them to do anything less. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, because you gotta look at the system, and that's the problem. The problem is a lot of time, Corey talks about all the time. We like to attack people, but not attack ideas, and that's the problem right there.
Yeah, man. You gotta attack ideas because when you attack people, people get defensive, and then the thing they'll defend is the damn system that you're trying to get rid of. So you gotta attack the idea, and so that people will start to break down those ideas. And when you start to break down those ideas, that's how systems get broken down.
Man, so many of our folks love the system though, and that's the frustrating part. The frustrating part is how many of our people love it.
Hey, listen, man, because they haven't been taught anything else but to love it, right? That's since inception, not even since they were in the womb, they've been taught to love this system. And so, at what point do most people don't unlearn and relearn? Most people just go along with the flow. People are wave riders by nature.
Yeah,
because by nature. So that's what happens.
But
right?
To me, the biggest problem is rugged individualism. Rugged individualism is the death of us.
All of us.
Yeah, but that's at the root of Americanism, and many of us are more concerned about being American than being black. But what do you do? Now the sister's name is Joy. Not going to try to do the name like Jimmy said.
Yeah, exactly.
But
so
but this sister is a research fellow at MIT.
We're gonna call her Sister Joy.
Joy B.
We don't want to butcher her name. I want to hear her say it so I can say it right.
She's founded the Algorithmic Justice League to create a world with more equitable and accountable technology.
That's hard. That name is fire.
Her TED feature talk on algorithmic bias has over 1 million views. All right, well, listen, let's try to get that to 2 million views. We got to do a better job of supporting people who are out here fighting for us. We got to make those things cool, palatable, and followable. And we got to do a better job of promoting them.
Does it have anything on our website about how to join the Justice League? That's kind of hard.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, I'm saying like the Justice League, like that's
hard body karate.
AAJL.org, AJL.org. We can donate there. Technology should serve all of us, not just the privileged few. Facts.
Man.
So this is something we should look to highlight even more.
Oh yeah, let's see if she accepts Bitcoin.
And really get into become an agent of change.
If she don't, you need to show her how to.
That's dope. All right, so listen, y'all. We talked about a couple of things. What's on y'all minds? What are y'all thinking about? We're not going to be here too long. But, we always want to talk to the folks because this is a town hall meeting.
Yeah, man. I want to know, for the folks out there watching, first of all, do you watch Billions? That's the first question. Do you watch Billions?
And if the answer is no, then why? What's wrong with you?
And has anybody watched Clickbait on Netflix? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Who's watched Clickbait on Netflix? And please do not give any spoilers. Yeah, that's her name right there. Hey, Latoya.
Hey, what's going on?
It says we have to become the virus that infects and overtakes certain nodes within the system, which can then be used to change the root system.
I see you talking that talk, Jose.
Yeah, man.
All right, Monica says the boys said a system can't fail those it was never meant to protect. So if we keep waiting for those systems as they exist to make things better for us, we're the fools. All right, now, Jimmy asks, who watched Billions? Let us know. Put it in the chat. Miss Vivian says, a new day. Parents must set up a legacy wealth fund for their children and grandchildren. Educate so by the time they are 18 years old, they don't start from scratch. Well, my last granddaughter was approximately 5 years old. I set up a fund for her. All right, kudos to you, Miss Vivian.
Yeah, that's the move. But it's extra parts to that, man. And shout out to Kamari. I'm gonna give you your flowers, man, because Kamari put out a piece this past week. It's on his page as well as By the Hood. I shared it on By the Hood last night because I thought it was prolific.
Let me put you on a big screen if you give me props.
No, see now I'm giving you your props. You want to give me the you put me on the Summer Jam screen. But no, you shared a piece about wealth in our families and how to pass down wealth and how it's not just about the money. It's about all of the different types of value and currency. So I thought you did a phenomenal job with that. And it's on the Instagram page of By the Hood as well as the Finance Rebel to check it out. It's about 3 minutes, but you did your thing.
Yeah, well, that was a clip of a bigger training I did called 3 Phases of Black Generational Wealth. And it was kind of based off of, Courtney talked about this the other day, shirt sleeves in 3 generations.
Yeah, it's basically a book. I read a book. I'm trying to see what the book was. Hold on, let me check. I read a book, and those are the actual things that are mentioned in the book. So I'm pretty sure that was part of your.
Well, it was, but it's also a part of like a lot of y'all kind of forget this. I bring it up. I was a financial advisor / planner at one point, and I worked at a firm that was number 1 or number 2 under the MetLife system. So if you can only imagine how much life insurance they sold to be number 1 or number 2 under MetLife is crazy. It's bananas. And the way they did it was through a lot of estate planning, succession planning, and executive compensation planning. But I got to see a lot of stuff that we're not thinking about a lot of times. And I got to kind of peep behind the curtain about a lot of things. So I got to do a lot of trainings on wealth and generational wealth and what folks are doing with these, what they call dynasty families like the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, and things like that.
But the book goes through all of those phases. It's called Family Wealth by James Hughes Jr. James E. Hughes Jr. I read that book, and when I saw your piece, it reminded me of the James Hughes book because a lot of that's in there. I remember getting the James Hughes book, and I thought I was about to learn about some instruments, and he started talking about
his strategy.
Yeah, and I'm like, hold up, this ain't what I thought I was reading. But no, it was a dope book.
But people a lot of times are so caught up in the tactical things that they forget the real gem is the strategy. Let's see.
Sir. All right, so we got people saying talking about billions and clickbait. Yeah, I just started clickbait, man, but it's I'm already trying to figure out what's going on, so no spoilers. But billions, if y'all don't watch Billions,
Now I want to put this up just real quick since you brought it up, Jim, because I definitely read Family Wealth and definitely was influenced by it. I thought it was a great read. I think we actually should probably do a show on this as well. Have you read Family Wealth, Corey?
No, I haven't gotten a chance to read that, man. I read a lot of. I read Color of Law, but I haven't read Family Wealth.
Yeah, different. It's the other end of the spectrum. Color of Law. Actually, we need to do a show on Color of Law as well.
Man, we got about 10 books we got to do a show on. Color of Law, Family Wealth, One book no one really talks about, which was powerful, is called Family Properties.
I don't think I've ever read
the Burrow Satter joint.
So this is the book Family Wealth by James E. Hughes.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about.
Yeah, it's a great book. Great book. And I think everybody should read that.
Yeah, we could do a show on that too.
Now we're supposed to be doing the devil. What is it? The Devil You Know? The
Charles Blow.
Oh man, I gotta go copy that joint and read that tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, Jose says I watched tonight episode earlier today. Y'all in for a treat. All right.
Okay.
All right. Listen, is anybody watching The Rise of Cain, Power Book 3?
I'm actually behind on that because it's just too much going on. So
I'm watching it, and I actually enjoy it. It's the writing's better than most of the other stuff. I did like Power, but there were some parts where they didn't have good writing. All right, so Quran says, nah, no billions. Come on, Quran. You got to get up to speed, brother. We about to have heavy talk about billions.
And now that Kamari found out we watch Billions, we about to do a Billions thing.
Listen, what did I say? When I was like, yo, y'all watch Billions? Listen, man, I don't be having nobody talk to this stuff about. Love Billions. All right, Clickbait is on watch list, but I'm binging on old series called Orphan Black.
Yeah, Orphan Black was that word.
What's that about?
It's that 6F chick, and she was cloned. It's a sci-fi joint.
Okay, all right. Monica said you spoke the good word for it tonight. All right.
Yeah, man, y'all got to start giving WEB his credit. WEB had bars.
Listen, WEB, many people don't realize was actually Pan-Africanist. But folks don't realize it. No, really watch TV programming. All right, come on, Talisha. I need you to make an exception for Billions. No billions on my catch clickbait though. Come on, can't be. I need everybody to make an exception for Billions, please. Pretty, please. You might have to go back and watch from the beginning though. All right, the book Family Wealth would be a dope read. It is. Karan, have you read it? All right, the Black 10K Project did a Family Wealth Challenge based on that book. Okay.
Yeah.
Was it in the book Family Wealth, Keeping It in the Family? I learned about the book and the shirt sleeves from the 10K Project. All right, cool. Just copped it on my Audible, along with The Warmth of Other Suns.
I actually have The Warmth of Other Suns. I haven't started it. I think Monica finished.
I ain't ready for that smoke yet.
Yeah, I had to fall back after the other one because I need a little cleanse my palate a little bit. It's too heavy.
All right, so Karan saying complete Family Wealth is slightly updated from the Family Wealth book. Okay, check it out. All right, Jose, got somebody. Watch Raising Cain earlier today as well. So what do you think about Raising Cain, though, Jose? Do you agree with me? Do you think it's much better plotted out, written? What do you think? All right, Camby says, I love the Orphan Black. All right, I might have to check that out. All right, which platform is Billions on? That's on Showtime. That's a series with the actor from Homeland.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
The Axelrod is from Homeland, I think.
Absolutely.
I never watched Homeland, so.
Yo, on Homeland, he was no man. I'm a chill because I don't want anybody want to watch Homeland, but his acting, he was amazing on Homeland. Let's put it that way.
All right, Warmth of Other Suns is supposed to be made into a Netflix series, but by Shonda Rhimes. Shout out to Shonda.
Interesting.
That would be interesting.
Listen, man, I'm excited. Just to put this out there, man. I know we've been on here for a while, but the Why the Last Man is coming on FX. I saw another a new clip of it today. It looks kind of dope. Stop, Corey. Stop it, man. Stop it.
What's it called again? The Last Man.
It's called Why the Last Man. It's literally the greatest graphic novel ever written, in my personal opinion. And they're finally making it into a TV show. So they've been trying to make this into a TV show literally for about 15 years now. So it's finally FX finally did it. So I'm interested to see what they do with it. Corey tell me it's going to be trash. But
I want to hear Corey's side. Corey, why is it going to be trash?
Because FX is.
He doesn't believe in FX.
I don't believe in FX at all.
Listen, I will say this to Corey's point: they have dropped the ball on a great number of great series, on a couple of times. So I get it. I get it. I will say, since I like the writing and characters, it brings me back to the 80s and how we were living in a strict and disciplined way of self-destruction. That's a fact. That is a fact. That's a fact. All right, so Corey, what you got? What's on your mind, brother?
I just
Billions.
yeah,
Billions.
actually, yeah, I gotta actually cut out in like 5 minutes because
That's cool.
I got some other stuff to do before I get to that billions. But besides billions, just making just talk about AI. It just brings me back to how important it is that we connect with one another, right? Because if we don't connect with one another, then all of the systems that are against us get the win. Because systems versus individuals, we lose every time. So our personal connections, like the thing that's going to that creates the wealth that we want to build, is our connections to one another. So we need to use each other more, and we need to stop turning use into a dirty word.
We need to go from I to we. Go from I to we. All right, so Monica says, I'm excited about Why, The Last Man. I don't like the graphic novels, and I actually read it and enjoyed it. Okay.
Yeah, I had to force and beg her to, because that graphic novel is everything.
All right. And is that by a black author or publishing company, or?
It's not, which is why I didn't mention it. It's about it's about Brian K. Vaughan. Brian Vaughan, he was famous.
He's a dope writer, but he's definitely not black.
No, he's definitely not, but he's a dope writer. He wrote Lost, and he also wrote they took a couple of his things and made it into TV shows.
If he wrote Lost, I can't mess with him.
No. But he was a writer on Lost. But the thing is, so his ideas are out there, but his ideas are out there. He's a crazy, phenomenal writer. They took a couple of his things and made it into shows, but this is his magnum opus.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Karan says, after Warmth of Other Suns, I had to read comics for 2 weeks. They cleansed my palate. Yeah, man, it's rough. It's rough. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with reading comics. I know many of us don't like it in the community. That is.
Man, I got 4 comics. I got 4 comics in front of me.
Yeah, I love comics. I've been buying some Black Sands and some other joints as well.
You better get down with the Concrete Comics, dog.
You got to put me down, Jim. Our agent says as long as Warmth of Other Suns isn't done by Oprah, Tyler, or Lee Daniels, it should be good. This
is from Concrete Comics right here. It's called Aolite, and this is a black comic company. And when I say that, their work and quality is just as good as Marvel, what have you, is just as good as Marvel, but it's a black-owned company called Concrete Comics. Just to give you guys an idea. So
now that's Concrete with a K, right?
It's Concrete with a K. This is their logo, Concrete Comics.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Hashtag keep it concrete. But
I'll look them up tonight.
Yeah, they dope. They dope. Definitely dope. And I bought it from a black comic store, which is also amazing. That I bought a black comic from a black comic store. How fire is that?
Which one? Come on, get a comic store shout out.
Amalgam.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? It's funny. I took a picture because I was telling Monica, I was like, yo, I got a black comic from a comic store, then went to a black pizzeria. 2021 is amazing.
How about that? We've come so far, but we still got so far to go. Well, listen, everybody, I appreciate you all being here, rocking with us every week. Again, get into the group, y'all. Let us know what topics y'all would like for us to cover. And we will see y'all next week. Sunday.
Follow us on IG. Follow the Black Wealth Project on IG as well.
Yes, please do. Please do. All right, everybody. Y'all all have a great night, great weekend. Get some rest and get ready to be great next week. I'll see y'all later.
Peace.